I am ready for some negotiating. That's right, Trailblazers. Welcome back to another episode, number 92. I'm Nandis, ESL Trailblazer, and you heard me right. Are you ready to negotiate? Every culture does it differently, some better than others, and we might get nervous. We might not know exactly how to handle that situation. A lot depends on your experience and your personality and how you handle a little bit of confrontation. Everybody has a different approach to it, and culture plays a big role. But today I'm going to discuss more about the language in English that's related to this topic, as well as combine it into a lesson idea for anybody watching this video who's a teacher and wants to help their students. If you are a business person, this will be extremely interesting and valuable to you. So stay tuned, because this language should be ready to roll off the mat. Boom. Alright, Trailblazers, welcome back. Let's get started with negotiating. First word, renegotiate. Prefix. Know the prefix. Can we renegotiate the prices? Can we renegotiate the contract? That's right. What do you do first? You establish a rapport. That's a language vocabulary word to highlight. Establish plus rapport. T is silent in the pronunciation. That means a relationship where both of you get to know each other. Now, depending on the culture and the situation, professional, formal, informal, etc., that will determine how you establish this rapport. Okay? To compromise. That's right. You know what it means. You've heard this word before. All right? Both sides make a concession. Another vocabulary word, to make a concession. If you are only making a concession, it's not a compromise because it's only one side. But if both sides make a concession, you're compromising in order to reach a deal. Sticking point, next word. If there is a sticking point, that means there's one particular aspect in the negotiation where both sides are not willing to budge. Not willing to budge, like move or change the position. Another vocabulary word. I'm hitting you today, pow, with lots of good stuff. What's next? Deadlock. That's right. If there's a deadlock, nobody is budging, nobody is making any concessions, and we're stuck. Think of it like a stalemate. By the way, I forgot to tell you at the beginning of this video, as always, if you want updates and you don't want to miss any of this juicy stuff that I share with you in the videos, lesson ideas for teachers, or teacher tips in the blog on the website nandis.eu, you can sign up for the Freshen Up Fridays newsletter that's in the link below this video. What are you waiting for until the video ends? I understand. Let's continue. We left off at stalemate, very closely linked to deadlock. It means we're not making progress in the negotiations, especially if it's in a contract type situation where there might be multiple meetings or stages to it. A little more complex than if you're just going to a market and want to buy something. Not gonna be a word that you'll use in that situation. A breakthrough is my next word. Wow, breakthrough. We're making a breakthrough with these videos, I hope. You're finding them useful and you're being able to see progress in your work. That's a breakthrough. Progress in your language abilities. A breakthrough because you were stuck. If you make a breakthrough though in negotiations, that means you're finally making progress, okay? Create a solution which allows the negotiation to progress. That's my definition for you there. All right, the negotiations can break down. That's especially political. Not going to be useful on a practical basis, but it's good to know. Having a hard line. That's right, or an agenda. Two different words there. Bam, bam, I'm hitting you. Okay, if you have an agenda, it means you know what you're going to be doing during these negotiations. And if you have a hard line, that means that's why you're sticking to it. You're sticking to this position. You don't want to concede more. Get down to business when you start negotiations. And remember, don't leave the table empty-handed without a deal. Okay? Also, fallback position. The position you want to go to if you don't get everything that you want. This is like what you are willing to concede, but not go any further. Bow! I just hit you right there. This episode is one of my top ones because I like negotiating myself. Being half Greek, I learned as a young kid growing up in Athens that this is the way you gotta do it in most places you go. Gotta get willing to negotiate. But nowadays, global world we live in, business or not, formal, informal, you have your own experiences. If you're a teacher, lesson idea. Here we go. There's a link below that supplements, talks about tips you can use, techniques used, and also you can get your students talking about their own experiences with negotiating. Because remember, negotiating can be with family members. If you're a kid, with parents, okay? With friends, when you're going on vacation somewhere. There's negotiating in every day almost of our lives. So, get your students to discuss what kind of negotiations they've been in, formal, informal, how many people took part, what was the result, and then get your students to talk about, or you share with them bullet points on what the cultural differences might be. Think about small talk, think about food and drink while that's going on, especially in a business context. Should I keep going? There's more, but the link below gives you the lesson idea for a teacher out there to supplement. If you are not a teacher, the lesson idea has these techniques that you can use when negotiating and tips that you should keep in mind when you're doing it. All right? So, I have just overwhelmed you. You might have to rewind and watch this video again because this episode is jam-packed with the goods. I hope you found it valuable. Share if you care. Your viewership is always appreciated. I'm Nan, the CSL Trailblazer. Be proud, teachers. Make something happen, and I'll be back with episode 93 very soon. You take care. Later.